Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy, and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras to awaken your soul. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita, my questions and God's answers. Today's series number 94. Discover how 3 types of faith, Shraddha, shapes our daily life. Pranam to Hariharji Maharaj, Guruji, for his blessings, his guidance. And whatever you see on this page, all these bestsellers on Amazon are motivation to me, guided by him. I'm Satya Kalra, your founder of Path to Anandam, blissful living, anger-free living, freedom from worries, fears, and how to live happy, healthy, and peaceful life. And host for online Zoom session. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita are based upon medical science. As being a medical scientist, I have added how to connect body, mind, soul with spirituality and science, and doing coaching for happiness, transformation to many organizations, CEOs, managers. So thank you very much, Guruji and Lord Krishna, coming in my life and guiding me on this path. Today's series, know how 3 types of faith influences our daily lives. There are several verses have been taken from 4 to 13, which explains how the 3 phases of belief system affects our daily life. How we behave, what we do, all is impacted based upon our Shraddha. What are the benefits of knowing how to practice, and what are the homework activities we should be doing? In our Sankalpa, I have Sattvic Shraddha, meditation, question, and God's answers. So let's all pray to Lord Krishna, humbly and surrendering, just like Arjuna. When Arjuna lost his heroism, he got confused, depressed, did not know what to do and what not to do. Similarly, we get confused, depressed, worried, fearful. And our intellect, our wisdom is tarnished. So let's all pray together. Karpanye dosho pahat svabhava prashyami tvam dharma sammood chetaha yachse syani nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanyam shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapanyam. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure, and my mind is confused about my duty, dharma, what to do, what not to do. I'm requesting you to tell me what is definitely good for me. Not what am I asking, what is definitely good for me. I'm your disciple. I surrender to you. Please instruct me. After listening to Arjuna's request, Lord Krishna took him on a blissful journey of self-purification and transformation by pouring the blessing, the wisdom, the infinite wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna initially said, Na jotasyati gopindam, I will not get engaged into this war because he thought this was a worldly war. But after listening to Lord Krishna, he understood that this is not a simple war. Performing this war is his duty as a Kshatriya. So then he said, Karishye Vachanam Tav. Karishye Vachanam Tav means, I do as you advise. So he converted his Vishad, his confusion, into Vishad Yoga, union with supreme power, and achieved the purpose of his life, where Guruji has put that in many different quotations, and I put his different quotations in this paragraph, where Arjuna and his divine company, Lord Krishna, were together and ultimately understanding that Gita is a step-by-step spiritual instruction manual to live righteously, dharmic life. It guides us to know the three types of Shraddha, faith, and their impact on building our character and attaining the supreme goal of life, eternal happiness, peace, oneness with supreme power, reaching to supreme abode, Param Dham, self-realization, Sat Chit Ananda, while living in the material world and beyond. In other words, we experience this today, right now, not just have to wait for departing from this body, death. Hariharji Maharaj, thank you. So this blissful journey to reach to our highest self, highest self, through building our character, through 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, where 574 verses were spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. In 18 chapters, main three yogas, Karma Yoga, where how to perform the activities, make karma into dharma, which leads us to self-salvation. So first 6 chapters for Karma Yoga, the other 6 chapters, 7 to 12, for Bhakti Yoga. Whatever you do it for the benefit of all. And Vasudev Sarvamiti, everything is God's play, everything is his Maya, everything is God. And now, Gyan Yoga, chapter 13 to 18, true knowledge. And in this chapter 17, Shraddha Traya Vibhag Yoga. Today the verses are from 4 to 13, where through those verses we remove each layer of our ignorance and learn how to reach to the essence of life, just like onion. So chapter 17, the path of threefold division of faith, Shraddha, for self-purification and self-transformation, and self-realization to experience I am Satchit Ananda. So as I put it here, 17th grade, PhD level. So we are at the 17th grade on 17th chapter out of 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a self-purifier and self-transformer, character builder, mirror which shows us what are the vices we need to remove or replace by Shraddha, by virtues, and how this Shraddha, our faith, impacts our life, our daily life. As it says, Shraddha mayoyam pursho yo jachasdya sa evsa. So jachasdya sa evsa means a man is made of his Shraddha. Jashadya. As is a man, Shraddha, so is he. So whatever his Shraddha is, his faith is, he becomes that. How? Because Shraddha is not just the faith. Faith could be only blind, but Shraddha has a broader spectrum meaning. It is equal to faith. It consists of faith, unwavering trust, bhakti, devotion, confidence, loyalty, just like Hanumanji. He was so loyal. He had a full Shraddha in Ram Bhagwanji. Not just a faith. One day we are faithful, another one we are not. One day we have a Shraddha in God, and other day not. He saw Shraddha every moment. And that's what this chapter is all about. Because Shraddha is the fundamental aspect of every person, as we discussed. I'm just repeating this from last session, because today we are focusing on the role of Shraddha, which builds our character and guides us for actions. So it is a guiding light toward the righteous and spiritual path. But faith could be blind faith, and it could lead to different direction in Tamasic behavior and behavior which hurts others, which kills others, because that's their faith. But Sanatan Dharmas teaches Shraddha, where the only path is righteous path, spiritual path, Vasudev Kutumbakam. Whole universe is our family. Everyone belongs to our family. We should not hurt anybody. We should not kill anybody. That is the main theme of Sanatan Dharma. Love, sharing, caring. That's the only path Sanatan Dharma teaches. And it comes from Bhagavad Gita. That's what the teachings of Bhagavad Gita are. So it sets the direction of our life. So the Dalai Lama's path is the spirituality. He always thinks about helping others, meditation, teachings. That's what his Shraddha is. So he's made with that. A businessman always thinking about how to make the profit. So his faith, his Shraddha is toward that direction. So he becomes a good businessman. But as long as he's thinking about the righteous way of performing the business, dharmic way, then he's on the path of spirituality. That's where it says everything is philanthropic. So business could be very competitive and hurting others or promoting themselves, but at the same time, it could be very beneficiary for the humanity. So gunas, Trinity, Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic, lifestyle, behavior, habits. Why did I try to expand on this subject? Because the question comes over and over that I do not have a time for the spirituality practice spirituality, doing dharmic actions, doing seva. And here is a simple answer from Bhagavad Gita. It says we are made with gunas, Trinity, with these three different aptitudes. Here are the characteristics of it. Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic. Tamasic means which hurts others, which is the ignorance, laziness, where Rajasic is more passion. And Sattvic is goodness, purity. Live that kind of life. So we are living anyhow. We have our Shraddha, our faith anyhow. We do the action, we walk, we sleep, we worship, we eat food. All these things we do it in our daily life. Gita teaches us. Simply do all this, but do it righteously. And when you, so there is no extra effort required. Just changing the direction of our action, our thoughts, our character. Because we have a free will. Animals do not have free will. They just do whatever their mind is programmed based on previous karmas. But we have an intellect. And based on intellect, we have a free will to change our behavior. We have a free choice. So based on our Shraddha, if we have a Tamasic Shraddha, we do the Tamasic actions. If we have a Rajasic action, Shraddha, passionate Shraddha, we will do the passionate actions. And if we have Sattvic Shraddha, we will behave, our aptitude, our swabhava, our character will be Sattvic. Why? Because everything in the universe falls under three gunas. Doesn't matter whether we are on the earth or the Devi Devas in the heaven or whatever, anywhere else in the creation. No one is free from gunas. We are all, this whole mother nature has these three influences, Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattvic. We all fall under that category. So it further explains that how these three different aptitudes, Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic, affects us. For example, Tamasic Shraddha, Tamasic faith, Rajasic Shraddha, Rajasic faith, Rajasic and Sattvic Shraddha, Sattvic faith. We develop our behavior, our habits, and then we do and don'ts. There basically is the guidelines of do's and don'ts, what we should be doing and what we should not be doing. For example, puja, worship. Tamasic people, ignorant people, they worship ghosts, spirits, because their nature is hurting. They hurt others, they hurt themselves. Like you have heard black magic, voodoo in Africa. This is all the Tamasic pujas, activities. In fact, Tamasic people, sometimes they do tapa in such a way, they hurt their own body. Sometimes they poke their body with needles and all that because they think they're doing puja. But they're hurting themselves. And not only that, they are hurting themselves, they're hurting the supreme power, that divinity within us. They're hurting that. That's what it says in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 17, verse 4. But Rajasic people, they worship yakshas and demons. And for fruits in return, these are the 3 points. Actually, yakshas have two meanings. Yakshas, rakshas, means Devi Devtas, who are our protectors. And we do the puja of them, have some purpose in our mind, or have some goals, some motivation to do puja or something we want in return from them. Like we do the Ganeshji's puja prior to having, or as a ceremonial activities prior to taking any big endeavor, for example, wedding or some major uh, functions in the family or community, we always do Ganesh puja first. So because Ganeshji is protector for all the activities. Devi, we do the same thing. But at the same time, it says demons. So yakshas could be rakshak or it could be rakshas. For example, Prahlad's father belonged to the demon family. Prahlad actually belonged to the demon family, but he was a virtuous person, virtuous baby. He wanted to worship Vishnuji, but it was against his father's wish, and he was tortured. So that's how sometimes these yaksha, when they are in the second category, in Rakshas category, they hurt others because they always have a fruit, some kind of fruit in return. At the same time, the Sattvic pujan is pujan of gods, Brahman, only for moksha, only for self-realization, not for any returns or any different goals than self-realization. Food, verse 8 to 10. 3 types of food. So the Tamasic people eat the food which are stale, rotten, impure, like meat, non-veg, consume alcohol, like some of the alcoholic people, and with the drugs. If you really come in contact with them, you will feel they are just like animals. They lose their thinking power. And also unhealthy food, it gives up many times negativity in the body, acidity in the body. And I can share one story with you, which I have shared it before as well, that at one time I went to one of the restaurants, which was very highly recommended to me. It was a new Chinese restaurant, which was serving more than 100 dishes during the lunchtime. So I did go for a lunch. I did not take the meat. Of course, I'm vegetarian, but I took the vegetarian dishes. But when I came back, my body developed such a negative vibrations. I became so negative. I just could not handle that negativity. Like if somebody comes in front of me, I would have slapped that person. I was totally into my lower self. Finally, I left my office. I came home. I went on treadmill for 3 hours. Generated a lot of endorphins, healing hormones. Drank a lot of water, and still it took me more than 24 hours to get the negative out of that negativity. So how did negative food impacts us? Because I just went through those 100 dishes of non-veg, passed through it and sitting next to it, and the cook who cooked my food also was cooking the meat dishes and all that. So all the negativity was in that food. Similarly, the Rajasic food, we call it a pakka khana in UP and MP in India, where it's a lot of fried food. In Punjab, or Punjabi people eat a lot of very rich food, lot of sweets. And then in the South, it's a very spicy food. So all these different type of foods give us the acidity. Sometimes they give us more diseases. For example, eating more sweets results into diabetes. Also, nowadays, study shows that lot of these sweets and this fatty food, spices, weaken our immune system and they feed the cancer cells in our body. Similarly, if we eat healthy food, which is a sattvic food, which is called juicy food, vegetarian food, which is light and it's easy to digest and it gives a longer life. So this food is considered to be for the longer life, and this Tamasic and Rajasic food lower the lifespan because it develops a lot of different diseases, a lot of different hormones and enzymes in the body. And it also creates a blockage in the heart and blocks the blockage in the cells in the lungs and liver, and it damages the digestive system, our physiology of the body as well. So having a proper ahar, and of course our behavior is changed. So as it says, jesa anvesaman. So as we eat negative food, our mind becomes very negative as well, as I gave the example. Similarly, yajnas, sacrifices, verse 11 to 13. There are people do the yajnas, have some purpose behind it. And I'm talking about this one for the first havans, yajnas, which perform with the agnis and with flowers and with many other ways. But they have some purpose in mind. Like sometimes the Rakshas, for example, Meghnad, he did perform the havan, yajna, to win and kill. And up to a certain degree, he succeeded, but his yajna could not be fulfilled because when Devi Devtas found out, they disrupted it and he could not complete it. But if he had completed it, there is a saying that he would have caused a lot of disasters over there. So people do a lot of yajnas, lot of even nowadays, people, these black magic people, they do a lot of yajnas, and you can go and look at on YouTube how people practice that for hurting others. Similarly, the Rajasic people, as I explained above, we do the yajnas, havans, prior to taking any major endeavor or having the going to the new home that we call the home ceremony, or starting new business or entering to the new building. We do the havans. And it's a kind of sattvic, but it's a Rajasic also, because we have a purpose in mind that we want to succeed in that particular endeavor. Also, we do the havan, we have some wish, we call it mannat manna. We have some wish, and they say, if you do that many mantras, that many times of havan, or that puja through the havans, then your wish will get fulfilled, it will come true. So these are all the Rajasic ones. And then many times people do it for name and fame also, that I did that many mantras, I did that many havans, etc. On the other hand, Sattvic havans, Sattvic yajna, it says, aphala kankshika, means without the desire of food and as an own duty. They do it as an own duty according to Shastras, because as you can see it here, Tamasic people perform without following the scripture audience. No sharing of food, no chanting of mantras, no faith, no remuneration, sharing money or giving donations to the performing priest. Where Sattvic people, they do it everything as a selfless service, as their own duty. And then dan. So whole thing is like a pujan, ahar, yag, tap, dan. How we should perform this, because all these activities are representation of our do's and don'ts and developing our character. So this is how in previous chapter 14 was mainly focused on Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic, and how to transcend from Tamasic, Rajasic to Sattvic nature. And this is how we can change our habits. Like when we are giving the charity, we must give the charity to the right place, not to the people who are, or the organizations who are promoting the terrorism, promoting the killing, promoting the wrong activities. At the same time, there are Rajasic charities, like we give the charity to certain political parties. Could be wrong, but we do that. But if that gives us more name and fame and more popularity, so that becomes a Rajasic. We also give the donation for name and fame. Sometimes, you go to the ashrams, and there you will notice that in the ashrams, there are name plates who donated this room, this fan, these tiles, these floors, all they are there. These are Rajasic. However, there is nothing wrong giving that also, if it is giving in the right place, because these ashrams and organizations require money. But we must be careful who we give it to. That's why it says give charity as a duty to deserving one, without any returns, but the right places. And I can share my own experience that I used to give it to donation whoever asked me, because I thought if somebody asked me a donation, there must be a good reason for it. Later on, I learned that some of my donation did go to wrong places. So then, now, whenever I give my donation, I go and check the places personally myself. For example, at one time, I actually went to Kolam, Ma Amriteshwari's ashram, not just for checking, but I wanted to go and see her, and she was all the way to the south, just next to Sri Lanka. It took me almost 15 hours or 18 hours driving in the car. But it was a beautiful ashram, beautiful activities. And then, so now I feel very comfortable whoever I associate with, because they are the places where I feel they're doing a good work. And their mind is more stable, they are more Sattvic, not like Rajasic and Tamasic. So developing our character also help us by transcending from Tamasic to Rajasic and Sattvic. So now practicing, how should we practice it? Very beginning, Aadat buri sudhar lo ho gaya bhajan. So we do not require extra time. We just must understand that we have a purpose of our life, self-realization, and whatever shortcomings we have to purify ourselves, we have to transform ourselves, and then we reach to who we are, Satchit Ananda. But we must understand what type of gunas we have and what type of Shraddha we have. Here it says gunas to Shraddhas. But we must know the difference of Shraddha. And we just follow Sattvic, righteous living, Sattvic behavior. Then no extra effort is required, no extra time is required to do the spirituality. It automatically happens. So we have to transcend from gunas, as Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, very first advice, Nistray Guno Bhav Arjuna. And then Shraddha, what type of Shraddha we have. This is how we build our character, we perform our deeds, that becomes our lifestyle. And then it becomes our destiny, means we are not in the pains and miseries anymore. We are not will go into birth and death, but we will be in Sattvic Shraddha, where we experience happiness, eternal happiness, peace, everlasting peace, and experience Anandam, Satchitananda, who I am. That's my true nature. But we must have daily activity, our day plan accordingly, and start our day with good notes, whatever resonates with you, whether it's a Om mantra or reading Bhagavad Gita or reading Guru Granth Sahib, Ramayana, whatever motivates you and brings you in the path of Sattvic, because Sattvic nature is, as you can see, right prior to experiencing our true nature. So we have to reach to the Sattvic nature by developing. Here I say one message per day. Whatever you need, just practice that. Whatever you feel like, I need to change my eating habits, I need to develop my more spiritual practices, or I need to have more healthy body, need to do yoga, exercises, want to connect my body with my soul, then pranayam with the breathing exercises, meditation are very, very important. And of course, prayers. And then contemplate and practice one message each day. Here I said, read one message. Now you practice it. What you need to practice, right here, I put it here. And then evaluate yourself and fine tune, which we will talk in the next page. And then meditate in the evening, pray to God, thank God for taking us to blissful journey that day. And then just surrender to him. As he said, Sarv Dharman Paritajya, Mamekam Sharanam Braj, Aham Tvam Sarpapebhyo, Moksha Shami Mashuchi. Don't worry. Once you are on my boat, I will take care of it. I will take you from one shore to the another shore of Ananda. Don't worry about it. So just our job is to do the best and then let go, surrender to God. So our homework, be aware and ask ourselves by self-inquiry, Swadhyaya Abhyasnam, self-inspection, not others. What do I need to do? Do I have my supreme goal of life, self-realization? Do I know the difference of Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic, Shraddha? Do I have Sattvic faith, Shraddha? Do I worship to fulfill my worldly desires or for moksha? What kind of food do I eat? Do I give charity to proper places? And my spiritual practices, mindfulness, meditation, do I do all this? Because it says a lifestyle that is led with purity, sattvic nature, goodness in thoughts, purity in food, purity in speech, and purity in listening. It's a collectively. And purity in action leads to the purity of heart and finally to liberation and takes us to Satchit Ananda. Who am I? My true nature. So asking these questions is not a sign of weakness, but it is the only path to self-improvement and reach to higher and higher self and experience who am I. So we live as a Sakshi, observe ourselves, focus on our self-improvement, as Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, stop, not until goal is reached. So continue to practice, practice, practice. So our Sankalpa, number 94, is I have Sattvic Shraddha and Sattvic lifestyle, means pure lifestyle, filled with goodness. Then I can experience happy, healthy, and peaceful life and experience who am I, my true nature, Satchit Ananda. So follow the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Sankalpa Bhavan, Kamasya Takta, Sarvan Chashet. Means from every angle, our Sankalpa should be for self-realization, not for worldly, attaining the worldly goals. Worldly goals are important, but not just only for that. And use our mansa indriya graman, all of our sense organs toward that. And then shanai shanai, little by little, buddhya gati greta, our buddhi, our intellect will change. Because we are thinking atma sanshay mane kratva na kinchit api sanshay means living in the mindfulness of our goal. And by doing that, just this is Mother Nature, just by putting the seed in a fertile land with water, fertilizer, what would happen? Where would the seed go? Seed will sprout, give the flowers and fruits. Similarly, when we study Bhagavad Gita, then we will reach to ultimate goal. Who am I? But in Bhagavad Gita, it also says, have a patience, because it is not a switch you turn off and on. It's a very slow process. Have a patience. But also know that only 1 in billions can attain this. But I say only 1 in thousands, and we are one of those. We should be one of those, because we are studying Bhagavad Gita. We spend so much time on this one. So, as Bhagwanji said, don't worry, I will take care of you. So just surrender, surrender, and step by step, go through that. So thank you very much for attending the session. Discover how 3 types of faith, Shraddha, shapes our daily life and gives us the freedom from pains and miseries, and allow us to experience happy, healthy, and peaceful life. So thank you very much for attending.